Greetings and good day. In this episode, we will explore the contrast between Rumi and psychological depression. Let us begin by reciting a few couplets from the great Rumi. Blessed is the one whose whole world, like ours, has been transformed into surrender and acceptance, where the union of love and madness becomes the jewel of a tranquil sea. In Rumi's vision, the foremost principle is that of surrender. For him, a major aspect of human life is enveloped by necessity, a force that leaves us free to choose only at very rare moments. This compulsion, imposed upon us through our own perception, guides our soul toward the growth it so desperately requires. Within Rumi's teachings, the soul is held in much higher regard than the body. To mend the soul, that supreme force mysterious and unseen, the divine, is the one who leads us along every path. As Rumi eloquently reminds us, "O human, this body is your steed, and this world is its stable. Yet the nourishment given to a steed is not that which sustains its rider." Again, consider his words. The sustenance meant for your body is not the nourishment required by your soul. When a person truly contemplates these lines, he embarks on a remarkable phase, what Rumi calls the beginning of wisdom, insight, and joy. Meditating on these verses and on such transmissions from the world's great sages is the most crucial step in awakening one's awareness. The effort to rise above what is transforms a person. For Rumi, the array of experiences, be they joys or sorrows, pale in importance compared to the soul's inner journey. Rumi asserts that the external sources of joy, excitement, and motivation are inherently transient. Instead, one must search within for the sustaining drive and true meaning of life. If a person reaches this level of insight and tends to his soul even before the onslaught of psychological pain, he has achieved a tremendous victory. Let us now recite these rich, profound verses of Rumi. And if you lack the means for worldly journeys, choose instead the voyage within yourself. Be like the gem that, welcoming the glow of radiance, embarks on a journey of self-discovery, O Master. For from such a journey, even common dust becomes the ore of gold. If one neglects his inner self, while focusing only on the body and external appearances, the soul remains emaciated and fragile, a condition that often precedes depression and the ensuing emptiness of life. In time, this inner neglect manifests across all aspects of a person's existence, sometimes through financial ruin, physical ailments, the loss of a loved one, or overwhelming depression. These afflictions deliver a clear message. O human, you have another duty to restore and revive your soul. Surrender and quiet acceptance in the face of life's ups and downs open the path ahead. In this silence lies the language of the divine, and history shows that the great figures of our world have always met life's trials with such surrender. A previous episode on this very channel discusses this topic in depth. You'll find the link above. Rumi also warns that our senses and perceptions can mislead us. The German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche similarly wrote that man must overcome the deceptions of his senses, a feat achievable only through deep reflection, patience, and gratitude. Thus, according to Rumi, turning one's attention inward is the very first step toward true wisdom. On this journey, one must embrace and accept life's circumstances, always remembering that the nourishment of the soul is entirely different from that of the body. Rumi tells us that if we genuinely devote ourselves to nurturing our inner being, additional transformations will naturally arise, ushering in entirely new paths in life. Consider, for instance, these verses from the great Persian mystic Attar, which promise that one need only begin to pay attention to one's inner self without asking for anything. Step onto the path without questioning, for your inner self will reveal the way you must go. In this school of thought, the most vital means of rescuing a person from sorrow and depression is to care for one's true inner self. A person who ignores his soul is doomed to fall into depression. Rumi looks on, filled with wonder, at the individual who throughout life neglects his inner being, yet expects a life full of joy, and he sings, "He whose inner sun fails to shine, his life is as confined as a tomb. He who does not nourish his soul is destined for continual loss and decay. And soon he will learn this lesson, even if he were the king of the world." Thus, our duty is not solely to care for the body. For Rumi, it is far more important to safeguard the health of our soul. This initial process must be self-initiated, and then the path to enlightenment will be revealed. Sometimes the guiding light may come from reading a book, conversing with a friend, listening to the whispers of the night, an audiophile, or any other medium that sparks genuine self-discovery. As Jesus, peace be upon him, says in Matthew 7:7, "Ask and it shall be given to you, seek and you shall find, knock and the door will be opened to you." Rumi teaches that once you step onto this path, your soul will no longer be tormented or weak. Along the journey filled with heartening inspirations and inner revelations, you gradually find joy, replacing torment. Greed and covetousness fall away as kindness, vitality, love, and generosity take their place. You begin to help others, offer blessings and prayers on their behalf, and surrender gracefully to what the divine ordains, a surrender that comes dancing hand in hand with joy. In this way, you transform into a higher being, much like a lamp in the darkness, whose very presence illuminates and spreads happiness to those around you. Thank you for being with us thus far. In this episode, we have briefly explored depression, its impact on the human soul, and several strategies from Rumi's perspective. If the message feels weighty, consider listening to this episode multiple times and reflect on its meaning. We hope that all of us may come to fully understand Rumi's teachings. And if you enjoy episodes like this, please subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends so that together we can contribute to a more beautiful world and a more compassionate humanity. In future episodes, we will delve deeper into what Rumi advises. Let us trust that the counsel and remedies of Rumi and the world's great sages can indeed be life-saving. May we all, through mindful awareness and dedicated attention to our souls, unlock the doors to wisdom and insight for ourselves and for all humanity. May divine light and love always accompany you.